Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. It is apparent that I am at the dead side of Berkeley. Look around me. I'm standing in the middle of the street. You don't see a car. Either way, this used to be full of homeless people. And as you can see here, there's still a lot of remnants of fires and people still living here. But like I said, this is a dead side of Berkeley. Let me do a little bit of zooming in here. Look at this little corner here where you could sleep and dump your trash. And that's exactly what's happening, is people are dumping their trash and doing graffiti. If I do a little zoom in, can't even see the stairs. It's all so full of trash. So on the other side over here was a big fire. So we're gonna go check that out. But look at all these are empty, completely empty. So as far as you can see, this is just abandoned buildings. So if real estate is so valuable here in the Bay Area, why is all this empty? Look at this. All this, and it's right next to a freeway. So this is a ghost town, a prime example of businesses moving out of California. There is nobody here. Let me do a little zoom in. I'll lie to you and say, okay, there is somebody way down there. I don't know if he's illegally dumping, because that's what usually happens here. You got one homeless person living here. This used to be full. All this used to be full of RVs. But now they're all gone. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go do one little loop. And look at this. You see that behind me? There's no graffiti. What happened to all the graffiti on that building? So somebody's been doing cleanup. Normally it looks like that. Look at that. That's right. So normally it looks like that, but somebody has been cleaning this up. I don't know when all this is going to go away. I'll tell you what, I think this guy's either illegally dumping down here or he's being a scrapper. Look at, he's picking up stuff. So he might be a scrapper. So a lot of times these illegally dumps, there's still good, valuable stuff in there. So yeah, all this is empty, empty, empty. All right, let me, before I go drive around here, look at the size of this and look what's in here. Those look fairly new with no graffiti, like new engines or something. So maybe they still work on engines here. But yeah, those are some big tracks up there that they move around. Those are big engines. But like I said, all that is graffiti free. So somebody has been here cleaning up the graffiti. And I don't know what this guy's doing right there. He's loading something that's heavy. And I don't know if he's a scrapper. I don't know. So a lot of times these scrappers will go around to these piles and they will get whatever good metal is out of it. There's actually a good YouTube guy. His name is Scrap and Pallet Man. That's right, the name says it all. He goes around, he lives like in the Midwest, and he goes through and he finds these piles of scrap. So see, like these cars like this, what are they doing here? Are they dumping scrap? I don't know. But that is a problem here in Berkeley, these piles. So I don't know, you've seen him get into his car. So you don't know what they're doing when they get into their car or they get out of their car. Are they making YouTube videos? I don't know. But a lot of times you will find scrap like this. There's still good metal in it. So if there's good metal to be had, there it is. I don't know what that guy's doing, but yeah, see, like this is scrap metal. Scrap metal, scrap metal. An old coffee machine. But yeah, these buildings have seen better days, haven't they? All right, well, let's do a little drive around the ghost town of Berkeley, shall we? Yeah, look at this. This used to be industrial. Now it's just dust. Used to be industrial, now it's just gathering dust on the trail. All right, let's go. Okay, it is apparent. I got you in the truck, so look at this. I got to change that air freshener. I don't know if you could read that, but I'm going to change this to the big the foot, like the atom. But that's Jeffrey Epstein. And the air freshener says, this air freshener didn't hang itself. How do you like it? All right, let's go. Focus. Here we go. We're going a little drive, zoom out, and we're headed. There's a mattress in the road. Be careful of that. And try to look for some graffiti places, graffiti-free places. You can see all that's got graffiti, but all these buildings are completely empty. Completely empty. Look at this. So this used to be full of homeless down that road. I don't know where they took them, or where they put them, I should say. But yeah, there's still some kind of businesses here. But very few businesses are here. So that's 80, that Interstate 80 that goes all the way across the country. All the way across the United States. But here's what I wanted to show you. Look at this building. We're going to get out right here. Look at this junk. I'm going to step out of the car real quick, put my hazards on. Is that someone's home? I don't know. Hazards on, let's get out. Let's go. Check your mirrors. But this is the Gilman overpass, and look at what we're looking at. A huge fire. That's right. So this thing has got its caution tape all around it. This is what's happening. When you have a building like this that sits empty, it's going to catch on fire. Now, it's probably a lot of times unintentional. They're trying to stay warm. But you can see that this was a big building, and really it was a good building, but it's going to have to be demolished now. So that's where those graffiti artists get in there, and they just have a great old time. But this was a big fire, wasn't it? Look at that. I wonder where the fire sprinklers were. Did they have fire sprinklers here? I don't see any evidence of any fire sprinklers in there. But when the fire's that hot, fire sprinklers aren't going to do any good. So, and you can see that the graffiti artist, or whatever you want to call them, they were inside there. And I don't know if that's someone's house right there or what. You just don't know. It looks like a pile of trash. I've actually passed piles of trash before that were people. There were people in there. But there you go. Let's just look at one side of this. Let's see if you could read that. It says Berkeley Construction. I don't know. But it's right here off of I-80 in Gilman. And you could see how hot that fire was. Look at that fire, started that building on fire. All the way from across the street. So all this, I'm sure, is going to get demolished. And boy, can you smell it. All right, when is this coming down? I don't know. Look at this bush. This bush has even gotten burnt. All right. Wow. Okay, well, let's get back out of here. I'm going to try to find a nice place to park. I don't think this will be here longer. I have my drone today because I'm only working half a day. And I knew I would be over here, so there's a couple spots that I want to drone. So let's get the drone in the air and see what this place looks like from the air, because it's going to be gone, I'm telling you. That's all going to be gone. All right. Prosperity. Let's just walk across the street real quick after it's safe. We are on our way home, and it is lunch break, so you wonder, what is this guy doing? Yep, he's on his lunch break. But look at this fence all broken up. Yeah, that's someone's house, I think. They got their tarp there. Yeah, all this will be coming down. You could see that from the freeway. All right, how about a screenshot? Yeah, let's go find a place. Oop. Let's go find a place to get the drone up in the air. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Berkeley Dead Town Adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. Yeah, that's a screenshot for sure. Postscript. I got to know if someone's living in here. What is here? Tarp. Nope. Looks like someone's bedding. All right, let's not get run over here. Let's go find a spot. Look at this big hole in the fence. This is how they were getting in. Wow. Not good, not good. Some good scrap metal here. That's all that's left is the scrap. All right, let's go do what we do best. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. Scrap. Script. Before I get that drone in the air, this is the kind of stuff that is just rampant. Look at this. This is California right here. This is not unusual to see. Buildings like this are just dump sites. Look at all this paper. And those are piss bottles and poop bottles. You see that? There's someone's couch. Someone's other couch. And look at that's probably about 2 feet deep of trash. Look at all this. Trash. That was one pile. You can see someone dumped their bags there. All this. Trash. Don't trash California. Look at this. Would you like it if I came to your city or your state or your town and the governors don't even care? Look what I'm looking at. Okay, as I pan this camera around from all this trash, look what's staring at me. Isn't this? See if this camera will zoom in. What does that say? Even on the freeway, it says trash. Wow. What a mess. Look at this. We got an Elmo here. I got to prop him up and see how long he lasts. Watch this. I'm going to prop up Elmo. There you go. My good deed. I just propped up Elmo. So anybody that comes by here on the freeway is going to see that. And that. Wow. Well, this will all be gone soon. This cannot last. This is just a big fire waiting to happen. So maybe that should be a screenshot. All right, postscript, over. You see, here's what happens. One person starts dumping and they all start dumping. All right. Well, as always, I want to thank you for coming along with me on these Don't Trash California adventures. I've already made plenty of videos about it. What would Elmo do? What would Elmo do? Okay, this is the streets of Berkeley, California. You could see somebody had a cooking accident. They were cooking something in there. I don't know if someone still lives there or not. But that was someone's home. So, if you have a home, be grateful. Definitely seen better days. Wow. Cars trying to get by, but I don't think no one lives in that anymore. Sad to see. You know what, a lot of times they get in a fight with their neighbor. So that's what happens. You get in a fight with your neighbor, it's called a dispute. So, all right, let's keep going here. But yeah, the streets of Berkeley. Both sides up here. They got pallets. They're living hard here, living large. And I heard cans. They got a lot of cans. Oh, script. We got some people going through other people's trash. So remember how I said they're scrappers? That lady just asked, do you want these shoes? So she's going through and trying to find any good clothes that she might wash. So she's definitely finding stuff. So remember what I always say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So that's what she's doing right there. I don't know whose boyfriend got kicked out and those are good clothes, or if someone stole luggage from the airport and just got rid of clothes. But she's got a gold mine of clothes. Look at this. So they're just going around from pile to pile picking stuff up. I hope they get some valuables out of that. It's almost like India, where people they go to the dump and pick up treasure. Yep, she's still finding good stuff. All right. Whoa, big rig coming through, low boy. Low bed. Imagine the stuff this guy sees. Berkeley, California. He was planning on parking there.